CTV Channel 6 is proud to present the Roundtable. What's happening in the city, what's going to be coming up in the city. Roundtable gives us a chance to sit down with some celebrities, public officials, people who are important to the community.
My fifth term.
Yeah. 5.5 months as the sheriff.
We were a public agency.
We needed a program where we could have a little more in-depth time, find out more about them, who they are, what they're doing, find out what their thoughts are, and let you have a chance to get to know them a little better. Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable. My name is Paul Dingham, and I host this program. We're glad you are along. It's election time coming up, the beginning of August, and one of the people that's going to be on the ballot is Council on Aging. We have their executive director with us today, Laura Newsom. Welcome back to the Roundtable set. Nice to see you, dear.
Thank you, Paul. Glad to be here.
You've got a wonderful agency that does so many wonderful things for thousands of people, not hundreds,
yes,
thousands of people.
Yes, sir.
And you have, you're on the ballot.
Well,
tell me what's happening.
The senior citizen service millage is on the ballot.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't realize we are only one of 7 agencies that receive the funds.
Oh, really?
It's the Commission on Aging that went to the county commissioners and made a recommendation for the county commissioners to put the senior millage renewal on the ballot. And if it passes, then 7 agencies that get those funds are able to continue services.
I'm confused. Why is there more than one agency? I thought you were the big one.
We are, and that what I was just going to say is we are the lead agency serving seniors. We get the lion's share of the money because we provide the lion's share of the services. But there are 6 other viable agencies in this community that get those funds.
Who are they?
I'm going to give you that list right now.
Okay.
Visiting Nurse Association,
okay.
the Area Agency on Aging 1B, Catholic Charities of Southeast Michigan. It used to be a different name.
Right.
Lakeshore Legal Aid, Public Guardian, and Blue Water Safe Horizons.
Oh, I did not realize that all of you were under this one millage.
Absolutely. That's why this is so important.
Yes.
To the future of seniors in our county, because those are all of the agencies that provide all the different services. Again, as I say, Council on Aging provides the most,
yes,
because that's our business. Our only business is taking care of seniors. The other agencies have other age groups that they look at as well, except for the Area Agency on Aging 1B, and that is also a funder. They're not, they get some revenue sharing, and that's why they're on that. But no, the money goes for direct client service, and it is absolutely essential for us to pass this.
In case I've been living in a hole in the ground, and I don't know what your agency does, what does Council on Aging do mainly?
Well, the mission of the Council on Aging is to keep seniors living independently in their home for as long as possible and to avoid untimely institutionalization. And so we do that by providing a variety of programs and services that support that mission of keeping people living at home. Probably the biggest one that people know about most is our Meals on Wheels.
Okay, yes, I see the vehicles all around the county.
All around the county. We provide 1,100 a day.
No.
We home deliver 1,100 meals a day to across the county. We have 7 congregate meal sites as well. If people are able to get out of their home and don't need the food delivered to their home, they can go to a congregate site where they get not only the food but the companionship. Which
is really critical too.
Absolutely. We know, and that's what we love about our senior centers is that we have documentation that supports that if people stay active and mobile and go to the centers, the meal sites, all of those different kinds of venues, that they will delay the onset of debilitating disease. But back to home delivered meals for a minute. Not only is the food the important part of that service, but it is what we call our safety net.
Okay.
When we deliver a meal, there's a complete system in place. The meal deliverers knock on the door. If for some reason nobody comes to the door, we activate our emergency procedures, which is a whole list of things. And right down to the bringing in the police to take the door down. And I can't tell you the number of times that we find people down. They've stroked, heart attack, fallen, something. We literally saved their life. And they are confident because they know we'll never leave them until we get them help.
Isn't that marvelous?
It is.
That's marvelous.
It is. It's an insurance policy for the seniors to have.
It's got to be scary for those volunteers that are working on Wheels on Meals.
Yeah.
To knock on the door and nobody answers.
It is. It's frightening for them. More than frightening, though, it hurts them because they have developed a rapport with this person. They care about that person and don't want to have anything wrong. But we're there to help in the event that happens.
That's marvelous.
Yep.
That's marvelous.
Another one of the services that is funded through our millage, partially funded through the millage, is our senior transportation. Paul, the longer the time goes on, the more important senior transportation becomes to the continuum of care that the council provides. You know, you can take in the food and you can take in all the other in-home services. If we get time, we'll talk about that.
We got time.
But if you can't get someone to kidney dialysis 3 days a week, chemotherapy, radiation, life-supporting treatments at the hospitals and the clinics, they won't be able to stay living at home.
That's correct.
And so the transportation becomes, and our transportation is the only way they can get there. We are the only county-wide lift equipped in St. Clair County. Families may want to try to help, but if someone's in a wheelchair, they're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
And
I think there's one or two vehicles in the county that you could rent that have lifts in them, but they're pretty scarce.
And very expensive.
Right. That's another.
Yes,
that's a major
that's
factor.
Right. So, and again, all of our services are donation only. Whatever people can afford to give us, we're grateful for. But that's where this millage comes in. Because many, many of the seniors that we service, they can't afford to give very much.
Right.
Like our meals. We ask for a suggested donation of $2.
Oh, my God.
But there are people, believe it or not, that can't afford that $2 a day.
I believe that.
They can't. And so they give what they can. And maybe one week it's 50 cents or $1. But they give whatever they can, and then the millage supports the rest.
Wow, that's just amazing. Now, is this a renewal or is this what is this?
This is a renewal.
Okay.
And it will not cost the voters 1 penny more than what they've been paying for the last 2 years. But there is something different about this one.
Okay.
We had the half mill in place that renewed in 2010 for a 4-year period. By 2012, we had the documentation to support going back to the community and ask for an increase. We had not had an increase since 1986, which at that time was 26 years that we hadn't had an increase. Well, and you know the numbers of seniors have increased. So we went in 2012 out for the increase of a 0.3. Now in 2014, because that one in 2012 was a 2-year one. So we had the 4-year and the 2-year. They both come due now in August of 2014. And what we have to do is roll these two together to make the 0.8 that will now last for the next 4 years if it passes. But again, it is not going to cost anymore because people have already been paying it.
Right. But on the other side of that, St. Clair County is now predominantly senior citizens, isn't it, the population-wise?
We are one of the counties in the state of Michigan that, yes, has a very rapidly growing number of seniors. Right now, it's pretty close to even of senior citizens and school-aged children.
Okay.
Within a couple of years, definitely by 2020, which isn't very far, there will be many more seniors in St. Clair County than there will be school-aged children.
Well, it's a wonderful place to live.
Yep.
And it's also a wonderful place to raise children. But we cover the school board meetings for East China School District, and we've seen that number of kindergarten kids getting smaller and smaller and smaller each year, and they're graduating more. So they've got a problem on their end. But the population of seniors gets larger and needs help.
Skyrocketing. Baby boomers.
Yeah.
Baby boomers. Yeah. It has been said that in the 1960s, the baby boomers changed the world. Well, now they're doing it again.
Do it again.
Because of these numbers of people that are needing service. And an example of what you just said, Washington Elementary closed. and Council on
Yes.
Aging was able to take over that facility.
Wonderful arrangement between the school district and you. It's worked out well
is.
for the community.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of people up in arms about what was going to happen to that building. This was really positive.
Yes, and we were just so pleased that we were at the right place at the right time
Right.
and able to work that out. But it's an example of what's happening. Schools are closing,
Yes.
and we're using those facilities for senior centers because of the numbers growing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it,
Talk to me while we're talking about Washington Elementary. You also are in Yale. You're in KPAC. You've got some plans for the Yale area, right?
KPAC.
KPAC area.
KPAC. We have been in KPAC since 1977, providing service. But we have been in a variety of rented facilities, storefronts, schoolrooms, portable schoolhouses. We most recently, for the last few years, had been sharing in the Lions Club building. But the time has come for the seniors in the KPAC area to have a home of their own. This population's not going away. It's only going to continue
Correct.
to grow. And frankly, we're tired of having to move all the time, and it becomes expensive and time consuming. And the only reason we had to move was we were wonderful renters, and we're always told that by the landlords, but they wanted to do something with their own buildings, understandably.
Right.
And so we always left on a good basis, but we just said enough is enough. And so we decided that we really needed to come up with our own facility. We looked around for to purchase a place that could be renovated. Nothing would fit the amount of money
particular
that we
needs.
had and our needs. So, Dr. Conrad, I don't know if you know him,
No,
but
I've heard the name.
Yes, he practiced medicine in KPAC for 55 years
Oh my God.
and recently retired. He donated 2 acres of prime property
Wonderful.
on KPAC Road, corner of KPAC and Park, in KPAC, for a new facility.
Isn't that marvelous? What a great start.
Yes.
What a great start.
We're so grateful to him for doing that. So now we are in the fundraising mode, and we have a campaign called Building the Conrad Community Center, brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
People are buying bricks for $20. There's 6,900 bricks in the
Oh my God.
facility.
Okay.
We've worked it out with the architects, and people are responding, and we are going to have this money
Isn't that wonderful?
within the next year, I hope, and we will be building this facility.
That is totally separate from the millage that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
The millage that you're generating will be for your general fund
Is
and
the operating costs. Yes, sir.
And the building fund is totally
Is
separate.
totally separate
Okay.
from that, yes.
Okay.
The operating funds is for all of the centers, providing the direct client service.
So
It
the
is
people
not
in
capital.
KPAC who want to support that facility, they are going to be the ones to make that building happen.
Absolutely, but anybody can give who wants
okay.
to, of course. And we have some other ideas as well. You know, I've been writing grants. We've written some federal grants. I've written to Community Foundation and Fork County Foundation, and we're looking everywhere we can to get the capital assistance that we need. But you are absolutely right. The passage of the senior millage on August 5th at the primary is separate. From that KPAC project.
So we've got Meals on Wheels. We've got the centers that are open that are working. We've got the important activity with getting people the transportation, but you have lots of other things that are going on daily.
We have literally hundreds of activities going on at all 4 centers every single day. And what we ask is that people become a member of the Council on Aging.
Okay.
Best deal in town. $10 a year or $15 for a married couple. However, if someone can't afford it, just talk to one of our resource advocates. They will get a membership anyway.
Good.
No one will be denied programs and activities or services at the Council on Aging because they can't afford it. And so when you become a member, you get mailed the 16 to 18 page newsletter every month that will show you what goes on in all 4 centers. There is something for everyone every single day of the week.
And for those that are now computer literate, because most seniors are computer literate,
Correct.
there's a wonderful web page, and if Logan will throw that up for us, we'll talk about that for a second.
Yes.
You've got a very active web page, and it's an easy address. It's just www.thecouncilonaging.org.
Correct.
And you can see right there, there's the picture of all the facilities and the addresses and the phone numbers that someone might need.
That's right. And if you become a member and you want your newsletter emailed to you, we can do that
Oh, that's
too. So
high
they don't
tech, high tech.
have to be mailed, yeah.
Well, when is this election coming up?
August 5th at the primary election. And again, we are so hoping that people will continue to value the services. We've been in place since '79 with the millage.
Isn't that wonderful?
So again, we're hoping that people have valued this and will continue to support us. 10,000 senior citizens are depending on this.
Wow. I salute you. How many years have you been with the organization? Just a couple, I think.
Just a couple, yeah. I'm going into my third decade.
Isn't that wonderful?
So it is, it is. And I'm so proud to be the director of this agency because of the work that we do, the dedication and caring that this wonderful staff has for the seniors, and the work speaks for itself.
Well, we urge people to take a look at it. There's a lot of millages on the ballot this year in August. Most of them are pretty good deals, but people have to make the choice for themselves. You and I can't tell them to vote yes or no.
Correct.
But we just would need people to investigate and see the value in each one of them and go from there.
And absolutely, and what we tell people is how you vote is your own personal choice, but we do encourage people to get out and vote. It is a freedom that many, many countries in this world don't have. Exercise that freedom and go to the polls.
Laura Newsom, always a pleasure, always an honor to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's about it for this edition of the Roundtable. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, Paul Dingaman.